Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I have a different style layout for you guys today. Actually, I guess all my layouts are kind of different styled. I don't know. I mean, I think I have a style, but I like to try new things, so I don't have like one go-to style. But I am using my paper strips today. These are like border strips or manufacturer labels. Um, all different kinds of just small pieces of paper. I wanted to use as many of them as I could. I'll keep them. Even if I don't use them, I'll keep them. But I wanted to use as many as I could just to see what I could do. And this ends up being a real pretty colorful layout. And then I use a large doily to kind of tone it down and bring it back to the pictures because there are 5 pictures on this layout, which is a lot. And they're busy, colorful pictures. These are some pictures of Kaylin's preschool this year or in 2013. They always post their pictures online throughout the day so you can see what your kids are doing, and I love that. But I download every single one of them that my child is in, and I have a ton of them. So I did not include all of them. I'm just including some different ones, and these are from October. You can see they are dressed up in costume, though they do that all throughout the year, regardless of the day. But these do happen to be in October, and there's also they're carving a pumpkin and painting ghosts. They did footprints in white and then made them in little ghosts on construction paper. So, anyways, back to what I'm doing. I'm just cutting some strips. I'm cutting additional strips from some just scrap paper to try to use it up and also to have some more variety in the colors. Now I should have just started laying this down instead of like gluing it down, instead of trying to figure it out, because I have to, when I take the pictures off, I totally move everything around. It doesn't really make any sense. And I move the pictures around too. So I should have just went with it. It would have saved me a lot of time. But it takes me just under an hour to do this layout, mostly because I don't really do a lot of cutting. I'm just kind of putting things down. I am cutting a small scallop on this yellow strip, and it's going to go across the bottom and kind of create a border. And I've got a few off to the right there that I'm not going to end up using. And that's just because the colors didn't really work out. I chose this kind of peachy pink background. It has polka dots on it, but it's basic enough that it's not too busy. The other 12 by 12 paper I had was too busy for how many different colors I was going to be using. Just getting the extra adhesive off the bottom. And I'm going to start laying these down. And I really like the photo placement, and then I end up losing that placement somewhere around here when I start moving stuff around. So I get a little frustrated at one point. And also I meant to cut some of these a little bit shorter or make them go off the page to the left a little bit more than what I did. So I end up kind of getting frustrated with myself at a certain point, but I just go with it and see what I can make work. Trying to make them as even as possible. They don't have to be perfectly even, especially since I end up covering up part of it with a white doily anyways. It does not have to be perfect by any means. And this is where I'm like, okay, where did I have things? Because it's not working. And then I'm like, okay, that really doesn't look right. What did I do? I don't know. I had a weird thing going on here. I don't know. Maybe I was tired. I'm not sure. I really don't know what I was doing. And then I put this one down, and this is a bit of a mistake. I don't like it. And then I had glued it down with glossy accents or with crystal effects, so it was not coming up. And then I'm just putting down different ones. Now these are paper strips from all different variety of things. Some of them are from this month's kit. Some of them are just border strips that I had in my stash. And some of them, like I said before, are paper strips that I cut off. I'm going to cut off all the excess here. And I'm going to throw most of these away. These are small enough that there's no point in me keeping them. And then I'm going to see, okay, well, if I lay all this down, how does it look? And this is where I can't figure out how to get my pictures back the way I had them. I really like the way they were, and it's close, but it's not exactly the same. And I was getting a bit frustrated because there were going to be weird gaps between the photos. And I did need one more strip down here, and then I cut it too short, and so it's just too short to fit. So, and my trimmer needs a new blade, so it's kind of making the edges look a little raggedy. So I have to piece on this other piece, and it doesn't line up exactly. I don't know. I was having issues, but it works well enough because I'm going to put the picture over the seam. So I'm really liking the way that this is looking right now. It's a great way to use some of those border strips, and I like my border strips. I love the designs on them. I really like the way that it looks. And I wanted to add a little bit of variety instead of just straight lines. So I'm going to cut this scallop, and I'm going to put it in a few different places. I'm going to put it on, to trim it off a little bit. I'm going to put it at the top kind of as a border. And then I'm also going to kind of do something with this white piece. It just looks blank to me. And so I'm going to do something on that one. And I need to put something for my title to be on. It's too busy to just be right there, and that white strip is too long, and now I can't pull it up. So I'm going to use this other scrap piece of paper, and I'm cutting a scallop border on it just to match the top one. And then I'm also going to back it on something else because it just blends too much into the background. And this green piece was not quite big enough, so I'm going to piece together a couple layers behind it. And it helps make that scallop stand out a little bit more. I'm going to use this border strip over this white. Here we go. And soon I'll pull out this doily where I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make this work. Still working on my little title block here. I just wanted to make it stand out, and I really like this kind of swirly reddish pinkish paper. And then I have this teal diagonal that I think is so cute too. I keep every single little bit of scrap of that I can find. It actually was cut off of a Project Lifestyle card from a Snap set or kit set. I think it's set. So I cut it up off of a 4x6 card, and then I still am using every tiny little bit of scrap that I can find. I have a couple different things here. I'm shuffling through my stickers to see if there's anything else. These are some of the scraps I had, so I was just looking to see if I can use any of those. I like the brighter colors, and as you can see, I have a lot of them here. And then I'm also thinking, okay, well, these photos are kind of starting to blend into the background a little bit. What can I do to make them stand out more? So I'm trying a couple different things, and this is where I decided just to go with the basic neutral, but I'm using ones that are in my scraps instead of pulling out some larger pieces, because again, if I can use scraps, I will. But I'm varying which photos go on there, making sure that there's not one right next to each other that are on those same papers, since I don't have exactly the same papers. Now that second one that I tried was too busy. It was like kind of a light gray with darker gray polka dots, and it was very busy, so I decided to shy away from that. But I have this kind of Swiss dot embossed paper from Basil, and so I'm using that on a few of the other ones. And then I realized, oh, that's going to be next to each other, so I'm going to use this other one. And then I'm going to find one more thing for this last photo to be on. And that really makes these photos stand out more. The darker ones stand out more than just the gray ones do. But it's enough that it works really well. And I'm just pulling it. I have my scraps right below my work desk, so I'm just bending down and grabbing a few out of there. So I have like just a plain gray cardstock that I'm going to put that one on. So that's really looking a lot better to me because those photos are standing out from the background a little bit more. I left a white border on each of them, but the darker color really makes it stand out. And this is where I'm going to add a doily, and this really helps make these photos pop. It still has the busy, colorful background, but it's not detracting from the photos themselves. So I've got this weird kind of white space in the middle, and I will deal with that. But right now, I'm just trying to figure out where the basic parts are going to be. And I really kind of like that, but it looked too contrived to me, so I had to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to glue this doily down. And I actually got those from a local bakery supply store. It's now out of business, but they had where you could buy doilies. I think you can get like 20 for $1, and you literally had to stand there and count them out. Take them apart from each other and count them out to make sure you had 20. And they checked, of course, behind you like they should. But it was kind of difficult because those doilies are so thin they would stick together, and I always felt like I'm like, I swear I'm not trying to steal them. I just couldn't give them apart. I didn't realize there were 2 or 3 together. So, but anyways, I have a billion of them because I bought a lot of them. I didn't know they were going out of business. If I had known they were going out of business, I probably would have bought a whole stinking box of them. But I didn't realize they were going out of business. So I went there one day to buy more and they were not there. There was nothing there. It was just an empty building. It was kind of a warehouse style building. But I also got my little Ziploc bags from there for just a couple dollars that I keep embellishments in, and I got a couple other things from there. They had envelopes there. If you are a card maker, it was a perfect place to get boxes of basic sized envelopes. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. So I'm starting to put down my title, and I'm sort of lining it up. It's not real lined up. It's kind of staggered in the letters. These are those foam letters, and I love them, but they don't really hold their shape very well, so they get kind of wonky, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It kind of adds to the playfulness of this preschool layout. Now that paper, the letters that I use to make the word sites. I really like them, but they're not very sticky. So that's just something to keep in mind. I got them at Tuesday morning. So I'm just got to keep that in mind that they may not be very sticky. And I'm going through all my embellishments that I have in my August stash kit to see what I can make work. And I have these, I think they're Love Elsie, like epoxy stickers, and I'm just trying to see what works. I had one that said playful, and it was pink with green polka dots, and then there were a couple other ones that I've got laid out here, and I'm going to journal a bit on here, and you'll see I don't like that, like I usually don't, and I cut it off. I'm going to continue to try to work with my journaling. Just going to continue to do it because eventually I will like my journaling, my handwritten journaling. And I don't have any ink in my printer at the moment, not black ink anyways. And yeah, I can't print my journaling. I should just buy some, but I've been kind of lazy, I guess. I'm going to use this little detail sticker. It says who, what, when, where. And I just have the preschool friends, etc., on there. So I'm going through these little stickers and labels to see what else I have, and then I had this little postage stamp, and it was really the perfect size to fit right in that kind of gap in between those top photos, so I put it there. And then I have an arrow that says fabulous, so I put it there. And I have a little star and some hearts that I'm going to kind of play around with and see what else I can make work on this layout. I have these green rhinestones and I'm going to use them. I'm just cutting them apart. They come in like an adhesive strip. I'm going to use them because it's the primary colors, and since this is preschool and there are a lot of green elements on this page, I thought it would be a good thing to add instead of enamel dots this time. I'm starting to get to the end, but I'm just kind of looking through to see if there's anything else that I might add. And I like these brads, and I wanted to use a couple, but as you can see, I could not decide which ones I wanted to use. I like this one that says, "Let's go be adventurers," and being that he's in preschool with his friends and his buddies that he always plays with, I thought it was a very fitting flair to use for this page. And I did have a couple other circle elements on the page, such as those epoxy stickers, so I thought it would fit well with the layout. So I've got "Let's go be adventurers" right there, and that also kind of helps fill in that gap between those top photos. And I'm going to pull out a brad here that I'm going to stick at the bottom. Now we're nearing the end of the layout. I appreciate you guys all sticking with me. This, I believe, is going to be the last layout for my August kit. I'll have my kill a kit video coming up soon, and I obviously did not kill this kit. I had way too much stuff in there, but I did do a good many layouts and cards with it, so I'll share all that with you and what I have left. So stay tuned. In a couple days that'll be up for you guys, and then I'll also be revealing my September kit that I'll be working with and my August haul that I did. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to see more videos coming up. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Bye.